What's going on, everybody? B. Scott.
G.O.D.
Third Wheels here. We got a live mock draft. 3 of us. Just starting a live draft.
And
we're starting a mock draft.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. So, I got the number 3 pick.
I'm at the 10 pick.
There you go. Third Wheel's got the, number 6 pick?
Yep.
Okay. No, number 8 pick. So, okay, you got the number 6.
So we're right here with it. And first off the board right now, CMC, of course, Mr. 101. Been dogging the last couple of years. Almost had a back-to-back 2,000-yard season. And, I mean, it's justifiable. So the injuries led him to, have a terrible season last year, to be honest with you. But new offensive changes, and we don't see anywhere point blank where CMC shouldn't be the number 1.
Yeah, of course. Dalvin Cook, surefire, plain and simple. I'm the number 3 pick. I'm going to take Derrick Henry here.
Yeah.
I think he's just the safest pick with where you're at. I mean, if you want to reach for a receiver here, I mean, that's pretty bold, but that's the only way.
It'd be really bold.
There's a lot of running backs that are still on the board with a lot of value, but there's a lot of risky picks.
I mean, if you did, to be honest with you, CMC's projected 330 points. That's 15 points less of what Tyreek Hill is really being projected right now. So, maybe you lose some, maybe you lose a little bit. You're definitely going to lose a Yahoo draft, not picking a running back that early. But
yeah,
it is what it is.
Nick Chubb come off the board number 4.
Oh my God, Saquon Barkley already went off?
Yeah.
I can't believe that.
And Nick Chubb, number 4 spot. You know what I mean? Leaving Alvin Kamara, Jonathan Taylor, Ezekiel Elliott.
That's big. The first wide receiver off the board right now, Devontae Adams. That should be clear cut. It is what it is. 18 touchdowns last year. How can you not get a guy like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's going to dog in the routes. It is what it is. Aaron Rodgers back. They put the last dance photo up. They're going out to show money this year.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
And especially with Aaron Rodgers, they got Randall Cobb back in that slot. Hopefully, at least he's going to be on the field. I think he's just going to open up, and Green Bay offense is going to be something fun to play with next year, and I want to own a lot of them.
Yeah, Travis Kelce come on board, number 7 pick in this mock draft.
Serious?
That's rough,
crazy.
Man. The running backs are falling to you, man. Are you going to take a running back? You're going to take a wide receiver. Jonathan Taylor off the board. Zeke and Kamara still on the board at the 9 spot.
This is not a fair assessment of a draft. I just don't see it. So I'm going to just go back to back here. I'm going to go Tyreek Hill, number 1, like I said, 313 points projected on Yahoo. How can you lose there? And I got to go Ezekiel Elliott. I think that he's going to come back this year and really prove people wrong. You look at the offensive line last year, and they were broken down, losing Dak Prescott, and he still finished the RB11. So he come back in camp really healthy, really in shape, shredded. I think Ezekiel Elliott could probably finish the number 1 running back, to be honest with you.
Yeah, the possibility's there. To me, if he falls that low to number 10, it's a no-brainer.
That's crazy.
I can't believe you got him that low, to be honest. Aaron Jones off the board makes sense. Stephon Diggs also, DK Metcalf.
Who else do you like in the second round, like coming around right here, wrapping around?
Well, I'll tell you what, Calvin Ridley right here on the board is huge for me. I think there's so much upside with Calvin Ridley, obviously.
Yeah,
Antonio Gibson.
right now.
Antonio Gibson, just a lot of question marks. Joe Mixon, you know what you're going to get.
DK just went off the board.
It's not going to be exciting.
I love DK Metcalf right there.
Austin Eckler, a lot of people are riding Austin Eckler pretty high. I'm not so sure if he can get there, but,
And there he goes. The third wheel just took Calvin Ridley off the board. Hopefully that works out, the aerial attack with Matt Ryan and Calvin Ridley being the number 1 receiver.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
To end up with, right now, going 2 receivers high, obviously the no running back strategy.
He could be a guy, right? Like a top 5 guy, because right now it seems like in camp, Kyle Pitts is getting lit up by rookie DBs. So maybe he is the only target in Atlanta.
It's going to be there for him. It's whether that team just completely falls apart or Ridley gets hurt. I'm sorry, Ridley.
Or maybe he'll be a rookie tight end.
Well, of course, Kyle Pitts. That's a stretch, but I think. Let's see. I'm on the board here, and I drafted Derrick Henry first, right? Okay, so Antonio Gibson. I like the upside a little bit with him, but I'm not so sure. Joe Mixon, Austin Eckler. I'm just torn with these guys. A.J. Brown. This is a guy I'm drafting a little bit high here. Don't get me wrong, but I think the lack of targets that he possibly could get, it doesn't really matter. He's a 10-touchdown machine. He makes plays happen. He could see 120 targets. He could see 70, 80 receptions here. Easily 1,000-yard, 10-plus touchdown receiver, and I'm going to take him here because I think he's my best chance to get that
Back
end
back
of
to
the
the
elites.
playoffs?
No, the back end of the elite wide receivers.
All right.
You know what I mean? So
Let's get with it.
looking at the wide receivers and how fast they've come off the board, I think I'll still be able to get a running back here. That's what
We
I'm
got
saying.
the third wheel coming up here in a moment. I'm curious of what he is going to take.
All right,
But there are a lot of value guys still here. You got Terry McLaurin, Najee Harris is there. I'm really off of Najee Harris if you know me at all.
Yeah, I'm in between. I'm torn right here because you know what, I like the two guys I'm looking at in this spot right here, Darren Waller.
It's crazy to
Obviously-
me how Darren Waller's climbed in this draft over George Kittle. I just don't really understand that at all.
I'm gonna go and take my man J.K. Dobbins. Okay.
Okay, you beat
This is
me
a
to the
guy,
punch.
I'm telling
What's
you,
up?
where I'm at with the running back position already. There's not a lot of great running backs here, and there's no wide receiver. Terry McLaurin, Allen Robinson. I love these guys, don't get me wrong, but I'm not super high on them being my wide receiver too. I mean, at this point, I'm going to have to draft some wide receivers a little bit later. I get it, but
I think you're underestimating my man.
who? David Montgomery? No, I like David Montgomery. Don't get me wrong. Finished the RB4. We just put out a video on him. And I do like David Montgomery, but I like J.K. Dobbins a little bit better. I think the skill set, he's a little more well-rounded, especially as a running back that's going to run the football. Now, yes, the receptions, obviously with David Montgomery and things like that, but both these guys are huge.
Looking at, I'm coming up right now and looking at the way this draft is going, I may be a little bit, unweaponized at the running back position because I really feel like, just like I said, I don't understand why George Kittle, why Waller went above George Kittle. I don't understand it. George Kittle healthy, that's a walking touchdown. That's a walking 100 yards. I mean, this guy's
especially
a
when
beast.
he's on the field. Yeah,
I'm taking him
ridiculous.
there, and I'm probably going to double up with the best quarterback coming off the board right now with Patrick Mahomes. Matter of fact, I'll just go ahead and take Patrick Mahomes right now. I got Tyreek Hill. No, I don't got Tyreek Hill in this one. Yes, I do got Tyreek Hill. What are you talking about?
Did you?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Third wheel drafted Devontae Adams.
Okay.
There you go.
what
You
am I
got the
gonna
number
get?
one stack in the league. If I was you here, I would be taking Chris Carson, in my opinion.
No, I'm gonna take the other side of that thing in Tennessee. That's my wide receiver number 7, Julio
Okay.
Jones. Taking him off the board.
All right. I can respect that. 2 receivers with Zeke and Patrick Mahomes. That's a good start. It really is. There's lots of receivers on the board right now. Terry McLaurin, Allen Robinson. CeeDee Lamb,
I
people
wish
are
I could
really
get some
eyeing
CeeDee
him.
Lamb, but I'm not pressed to take a person that I ain't seen the workload from yet.
Yeah, and you just don't know what's going to happen there in Dallas. I mean, I still like Amari Cooper. He started on the pup. I get it. So there's a lot of question marks, and he's starting to slide. Guess what? Cooper's the biggest value, in my opinion, right here because he
Adam
is starting.
Thielen.
He is starting
What
to slide.
the hell
Yeah.
is he doing?
Yeah,
That's crazy to me.
Hey, Mr. 14
I
touchdowns, right?
Yeah, I understand the consistency there with his fantasy points, but that's pretty high to take over Allen Robinson, Terry McLaurin,
Yeah,
Godwin.
I think Terry McLaurin's got
That's crazy
huge
to me.
value and huge upside, especially this season. So,
These are guys that are gonna be like 1A in their offense. You know what I mean? Like, why would you take a Thielen there?
all right, Darrell Henderson taken off the board. I can respect it. The man should get over 200 carries, so I got no problem with it. Number 1 running back in an offense that knows how to run the
Kyler,
football.
second quarterback taken off the board.
No, 3rd. Josh Allen's already taken. So
What? I didn't even see that happen.
that's what I'm saying.
Wow.
To be honest, I don't really want Terry McLaurin here, but if he falls this low to me, I don't know how I could not draft him.
This is surefire right now. This draft is like ridiculous. We're playing for championship trophies, and that's it.
Yeah, I got
Let's
A.J.
go.
Brown on my team, so Terry McLaurin is my wide receiver too. That's fine.
Josh Jacobs.
I
I
already
can't believe that either.
I already got Derrick Henry and J.K. Dobbins, so it's like, why not round out my receiving core right now? Kind
I
of
should
waiting on
just
the
fuck the
quarterback.
draft up and take Lamar Jackson.
No, there's no point in taking Lamar Jackson. You got Patrick Mahomes. That's the hardest part with taking Patrick Mahomes.
Allen Robinson
out there.
finally off the board. I think that's a great pick, and I don't think you'll be upset with that at all. I think Justin Fields is going to be an absolute monster in this league. There wasn't a lot of hype coming off of him, and I think, a lot of that had to do with the epilepsy at the end that they found that he had. But most accurate quarterback coming out in this draft class was Trevor Lawrence was taking number 1, and I think Allen Robinson is just going to feed a lot off that.
Yeah, absolutely. My draft pick's coming up. I'm not taking Miles Sanders because I don't trust him at all. Amari Cooper was probably the best pick there. I really think so. DeAndre Swift, I don't trust. No Robert Woods, no Cooper Kupp. Even DJ Moore, I'm good. So I'll be honest, at this spot, I'm just gonna go ahead and take the fourth quarterback off the board, Lamar Jackson here. There's a couple other my team's getting well rounded out, and TJ Hawkinson is just too high for me to take a tight end. It really is if you don't get the top three. So I'm gonna go ahead and go Lamar Jackson here. Maybe I can get Mark Andrews in the next round coming up, but I doubt it. There's a lot of picks coming up, so it just makes sense for me to take quarterback and Lamar Jackson here. Lamar Jackson, in my opinion, could be the quarterback one this season. You saw his MVP season 2 years ago. I think if they can get that passing attack back, you already know the rushing ability is there. They barely missed on a lot of throws last season. The offensive line really didn't hold up, so Lamar Jackson got huge value.
I'm looking really thin at the running back position.
Yeah.
But as we know, I always got running backs, in my back pocket. So
yeah, I think there's a lot of value late, so it's okay. Mark Andrews off the board, so I can't get that. TJ Hawkinson, he's off the board too. Third wheel, take him. Okay. Tyler Lockett gone. Lots of value here still. Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp still on the board. DJ Moore, Myles Gaskin. Guy that doesn't excite me, but I mean, I get it. He could see a lot of volume. So, as a RB2, I guess is not a horrible pick.
yeah,
Tyler Lockett, or not Lockett, but Hawkinson could have a breakout season this year.
He could, but he's on a terrible
Really
team. That's
could.
my only problem.
This-
He's going to have a lot of workload with probably not a lot of touchdowns, and hopefully he doesn't knock himself out. You know what I mean? Cooper Kupp off the board.
all right. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and take Kareem Hunt. I think he has a lot of value there. I think, he's borderline RB1. You know what I mean? I think he's the optimum of the RB2s. The work that he's going to get in the pass game, you know what I mean? The great offensive line that they have there in Cleveland. I like Kareem Hunt a lot. I'm going to get a lot of shares of him anyway.
Yeah, of course.
I would have liked to have him on my bench, but,
I mean, here's the deal. At the end of the day, if your team's strong enough and Kareem Hunt's your RB2, I really could say that's not that bad of a pick. Brandon Ayuk going really high. Robert Woods is just falling.
I'm just scared of Myles Gaskin at this point.
No, that's my problem. I like Myles Gaskin as a player. I just don't know how explosive he is. I mean, is he really going to make or break your fantasy team? I think he's a pretty safe RB2 flex type guy. So that's just where I got him. So if I'm drafting two running backs high, which I already have Henry and Dobbins, I mean Gaskin, I'm going to look towards the upside on wide receivers later on.
I have no idea why Trey Sermon is ranked so high, but hey, it is what it is. I think it has a lot to do with Wilson tearing his knee up, knowing that we've never seen Mostert really stay healthy, and he could be in for a lot of workload. But what can he really do as a rookie? He wasn't very explosive or caught passes out of the backfield in college. So
Yeah.
I'm just questioning his ability at this point at the pro level.
I mean, you got to realize he's in the Shanahan offense where they know how to run the football and very effectively. You see Jeff Wilson, and Mostert and everything he's done, and all those running backs. So, obviously, here's my it's my predicament. Do I draft Myles Gaskin here at a value, really, to sew at my flex spot, who is probably pretty surefire and pretty safe play? Or do I take a chance with someone like Deontay Johnson, who I kind of like here, who's had 1 million targets and honestly has a lot of upside as a young wide receiver, third-year breakout potential? I'm going to take Deontay Johnson here, even over Myles Gaskin, which is pretty tough because I think Gaskin has a pretty safe floor, but I think Johnson has more upside. Even though the Steelers, I get it. We talked about it, Ben Roethlisberger's quarterback, so It's going to ride or die by him, but you saw last year, Johnson with all the target share and everything, it's like the opportunities are going to be there for Deontay Johnson. Not just that, but at the rate it's going, Aaron Rodgers coming off the board here, I might still get Myles Gaskin. Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson both gone.
We're going to start seeing people reach for special teams and, everything like that right now. So
I'm telling you. Kenny Galladay off the board.
Which I don't even know where to put his value at.
Well, this is my thing. If Gaskin falls to me right here, I'm going to take him. Outside of this, I mean, I'm kind of stumped at who I'm going to take.
But Kenny Galladay, do you have a real value for Kenny Galladay?
Galladay's a crapshoot. That's the worst part because he's an outstanding talent and a great wide receiver. Big body, can catch a lot of touchdowns, absolutely. But he's with I'm sorry. Take Mike Davis over Myles Gaskin. At this point, I have to take Myles Gaskin. 7th round value, ADP at 50. Do I think he's outstanding and going to be great? No, not necessarily, but I think he's pretty safe to say that he could be a bye week filler at best for me right now. So I'm going to take Gaskin. Makes sense to come off the board. But back to Kenny Galladay. I like Kenny Galladay as a player. Problem is he's playing with Daniel Jones, and they have 100 weapons over there. What's going to happen? Who knows? I think Darius Slayton's pretty talented, but you saw it was hit and miss. He was either really great or absolutely disappeared. Sterling Shepard saw a lot of targets.
Of course.
You know what I mean? They bring in Kadarius Toney, Saquon Barkley. They pick up running backs. I don't know what this offense is going to be like. And Kenny Galladay, albeit if you're taking him here as your flex guy, I guess it's okay for me. I'm okay with that. There's just a lot of question marks there. So it's taking a chance. I think Galladay could be a league winner, potentially. So let's say Daniel Jones comes out and Galladay ends up with 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns. I could believe Kenny Galladay being that type of player. You know, so he could be a league winner here.
Right here coming up, I'm going to take one of the most explosive guys, ranked number 64 right now at the wide receiver position. This is a guy that nobody's talking about. Yeah, he has been a little bit injury riddled, but when he's on the field, he's an absolute monster, just like his counterpart at the tight end, George Kittle. I'm taking Deebo Samuel right here if he falls to me. Period.
Yeah, I do like Deebo Samuel here. So considering T. Higgins on the board, I do love T. Higgins, but, I mean, they bring in Jamar Chase, and they're talking about Joe Burrow's already trying to just fucking pepper Chase in the training camp. So, I mean, I don't know what to do with T. Higgins here. OBJ's another guy. Trey Sermon come off the board. Deebo Samuel, I got no problem with Deebo. I think Deebo's got a lot of upside. We talked about him in our sleeper vid. I think there's a lot of disrespect around Deebo. Huge yak guy and a guy that could totally make plays. If he can stay healthy on the field.
Another guy that I'm taking right now, he's ranked 66. Projected a lot of points, but I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to take Ronald Jones in Tampa Bay right now. They do have a tough strength of schedule, but we seen last year. In games where Leonard Fournette started those games, they were not winning these football games because of the first and second down reads that they got. You know what I mean? When Ronald Jones was on that team, when he was starting, they won these games. They were a more explosive team,
yeah.
And they fit the play action a little bit better. So I'm taking Ronald Jones. I think he will be more utilized in that offense than Leonard Fournette this year. I really do.
Yeah, I got no problem with Ronald Jones. I mean, where you're getting him, and you never know the workload's going to happen. He's a potential RB2 in my opinion, depending on the workload.
Yeah,
and you saw him last year in games. I mean, you got to hope that if you're starting him, he's going to play. That's the only scary part with Ronald Jones. You know, there's a lot of games where, especially with Leonard Fournette, where Ronald Jones just disappeared, didn't carry the load. Jamar Chase coming off the board really high here.
Oh, that's crazy.
Ahead of T. Higgins, ahead of OBJ.
Yeah, I probably would have took a chance on Odell.
I mean,
Odell looks like a man right now.
I get it.
He's very healthy.
He is, but man, the man hasn't played in 3 years, in my opinion.
I don't think we've seen him this healthy in that long either.
Justin Herbert coming off the board. We got third wheel taking Justin Herbert, huh?
Nope.
Wowzers.
Oh, okay, Damian Harris. Herbert's off the board. OBJ coming off the board. My pick's coming up. Honestly, I'll take Javonte Williams here. A lot of people are in between with Javonte Williams. I think even in the split, with the strength of schedule, it's unreal.
Although, he is outperforming his depth chart status, you know what I'm saying? He's outperforming Melvin Gordon like a motherfucker right now. He's the backup right now. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But we've seen what he can do in the split in college at North Carolina with Michael Carter. So I think that he'll be just fine. And who knows if this Deshaun Watson thing gets cleared up? I think that Melvin Gordon will be part of this trade package to get him there. You know what I mean? So
you never know. Could be a possibility. I think, in my opinion.
And then at that point, his value is just skyrocketed tremendously.
Yeah, absolutely. I think both of these running backs are both valuable. Period. Both of them. I think both of them hold standalone value. We'll talk about that in our cuffs. In my opinion, there's some cuffs that I think have a lot of standalone value, regardless. So.
And if you don't know, this is the mock draft. This is round 8. This is the first we're downs in the house. We got B. Scott, G.O.D. the third wheel. You already know. Plug shit.
Tyler Higbee coming off the board at the tight end position. In my opinion, no way. If you don't get the top 3 tight ends, you might as well wait.
It's some killers
and wait and wait.
You know what I'm saying?
Robert Tonyan in the 10th round.
I'll fade the tight end at this point.
I'm in the same boat. If you don't get a top 3 tight end, just fade him. I mean, even Noah Fant. Lots of upside with Noah Fant. Guess what? He's falling in drafts. I've got him as late as 10th round, 11th round as my starting tight end. It's like, dude, I'll take Noah Fant in the 11th round. Period.
Yeah,
I will. So it's like I'm not gonna reach for Goddard. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
that's
reach
something
for
somebody
Pitts.
just said Goddard.
I'm not gonna reach for Tyler Higbee, even Gesicki, whatever. I'm sorry, Robert.
They're
Tonyan,
all going to fall around the same numbers at the finish.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Why would you reach for them in the draft where, we've added an extra week in the NFL season. We don't know if these guys are going to take, like, committee parts. You know what I'm saying? We don't know, like, if starters are going to sit at some point. I would just fade it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To be honest with you.
Antonio Brown coming off the board here, really high. Number 82, which I'm fine with because I think he
That's
holds
a beast play, though.
Dude, he holds a ton of value, right?
That's a beast play.
So I'm gonna go ahead and take another wide receiver, another guy that I like, Cortland Sutton. I'm in between with Juju Smith-Schuster. I'll never own on a team ever. So Robbie Anderson. This is a guy 80 at 95, but I think
Good pick.
he's got a lot of upside. Running out of the slot, he does. And Sam Darnold loves to throw the slot. You know that with Jameson Crowder. So Robbie Anderson round out my
And the first kicker taken,
my
Justin
fourth
Tucker.
receiver. So.
There goes the man.
All right, Tom Brady coming off the
Brady's
board.
off the board. I, of course, couldn't take Tom Brady. He had a week 12 bye. You know what I mean? But I would have loved to have that kind of guy.
Yeah, third wheel finally getting a quarterback off the board, right?
Yep.
QB1. Okay.
If my guy's here, you know what I mean? I'm going to take another running back who is a starter in this league. He is the starter on this team right now. Again, with the San Francisco 49ers, they play very heavy of a run game. If he's here, I'm taking him. We've seen what he can do. 22 miles an hour. Come on, man.
Yeah,
How,
Mostert.
how could you not take Raheem Mostert here?
Absolute stud, and a guy that I think is another guy that's not getting the respect that is due. You know he's been hurt, so obviously it's like with a grain of salt. But you're going to take Trey Sermon over Raheem Mostert when Raheem Mostert's a starter? How does that make sense?
Yeah, it don't make
doesn't.
sense to me.
Trey Sermon going fucking 3 rounds earlier, so it's like Raheem Mostert's the man.
Defense is coming off the board too. I think I'm gonna follow this up with a defense, and I think this defense is gonna be Tampa Bay. This is a Super Bowl winning defense, and we've seen in the second half of the season what they can actually do with what they got. This is a new team assembled, and I think that Tampa is surely going to defend and score a lot of points this year in fantasy football.
Yeah, not just that, but Tampa Bay, the number 1 projected defense for fantasy points, according to Yahoo anyway, so it's like, it's worth a pick here. Like I said, there's a lot of guys on the board that I'm in between with. Cortland Sutton, Juju Smith-Schuster, Chase Claypool even. You know, they got projected 10 touchdowns and 1,000
I'm looking at
yards.
my team right now. I would be very satisfied with this. You know what
I'll
I mean?
be honest, I have the championship team, so I don't know what you're looking at, but no, it's all good. David Johnson, I can't trust here. Noah Fant, I would take at the tight end position at this point where I'm at. I need a tight end anyway, and we're in the 10th round, so to take Noah Fant in the 10th round, I mean, maybe I'll take a chance here. I do like Robert Tonyan a lot. I think Logan Thomas has a lot of upside this season.
Are you worried about Robert Tonyan or this Allen Lazard touchdown potential now that Randall Cobb is back on the team?
DJ Chark coming off the board, but
The 10th round, DJ Shark needs to be off the board.
no, yeah, I see it. I get it. But Tonyan, obviously, I think the touchdown potential is going to be there regardless. He's a talented tight end that I think has his own standalone value. I'm on the draft board right now, and so I'm going to go ahead and take Noah Fant off the board because I think the talent-wise, you see it, but. Obviously,
Wow, I just realized I still need a tight end.
yeah, we've known about the injuries. Good part is there's still tight ends out there to be drafted.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the best part about tight ends. In my opinion, if you don't take the top 3 tight ends, don't worry about the other tight ends because Logan Thomas is on the board. This is 11th round, people. Logan Thomas is on the board. Robert Tonyan's on the board. Did people forget he had 10 touchdowns last year?
Yeah.
You know, and Aaron Rodgers is coming back. See,
Well,
I would love.
I feel like
Tonyan
Robert
there.
Tonyan had those kind of touchdowns because there wasn't a healthy number 2 target all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like they started using MVS more in the slot after they got rid of Geronimo Allison, right? So you thought Allen Lazard was the guy, but he like tore his quad or some shit. Like he didn't tear his quad or his hamstring, and then he was like pretty much non-existent throughout the rest of the season. And I feel like Tonyan, obviously benefited the most out of that.
Yeah. I really think so too. I think Tanyan
But with 18 touchdowns to Devontae Adams and 10 to Tanya, that's 28
for Aaron,
touchdowns
for Aaron
right there
Rodgers
out of pass catchers.
yeah, for
you know
Aaron,
what I mean?
Yeah, for Aaron Rodgers to be looking to prove something this season, period. And that's what's important. I think Tanyan's got huge value, regardless, especially in the offense where Aaron Rodgers is looking to show Green Bay why they need to have Aaron Rodgers on the team. So look, I have 4 running backs. I have 4 wide receivers. I'm not going to take a defense this high or a kicker. I'm going to go ahead and take a running back that I think has a lot of value. I'm going to take James Conner. This is a guy that could possibly be a bye week filler.
That's what's up.
You know what I mean? Or a guy that could fill your spot. Now, a lot of people are... He's being drafted so late it makes no sense. Obviously, we're going to have to wait and see with Chase Edmonds how that works out. But I'll tell you right now, Edmonds, we haven't seen him carry a load ever in his entire career. He's never had the goal line carries. So that tells me that I think James Conner holds a lot of standalone value, period. Kenyon Drake with all his goal line carries and the 10 touchdowns last year. I mean, come on, man. Chase Evans is not that guy.
Yeah, I hear you there.
Juju Smith-Schuster coming off the board. You know what? That's okay. Let somebody else take that problem.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, and my next pick coming off the board is probably going to be my backup quarterback, and this guy's going to be Matthew Stafford. I already got Cooper Kupp in my flex at the 11 bye week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a long time before either one of my quarterbacks have a bye, so that's pretty much good production. This is the number 10 ranked guy. You know what I mean? This is what I'm going with.
Yeah, Stafford, I'm totally for it. Trust me, I would have loved to have Ryan Tannehill, but he got drafted 2 picks before I could take him as my backup. So
Let
at
me
this
see.
point, I have
Is there
Lamar
any value?
Jackson.
Okay, I need to take a tight end. I'm gonna take Hunter Henry. New England spent a lot of money on these 2 tight ends, Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry. We've seen Hunter Henry catching a ton of passes from Cam Newton right now in this offense, and I think that they're gonna run a lot of this 12 personnel, and Hunter Henry is gonna be the reception guy. He's gonna be more to the Gronk to the Hernandez. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think this is a value pick that you get way late in drafts. I could have gone with Tanya there, but I really like Hunter Henry's value. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it totally makes sense. A.J. Dillon coming off the board. A little high for me, but you know what? I do like A.J. Dillon. He's got, in my opinion, a lot of standalone value. So I have no problem. In my opinion, I would have A.J. Dillon above a guy like David Johnson or, you know what I mean, a couple other running backs that I think you just don't know that are going to be crapshoots. I think A.J. Dillon's going to have a lot of standalone value. A lot of people are going to see that a little bit later. San Francisco defense coming off the board. I would have loved to have a San Francisco defense. That was my next pickup.
Got a double cuff. Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek, Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, it's good. Kenyon Drake coming off the board. I don't know how much value he's going to hold. In my opinion, I'd rather have Gus Edwards over Kenyon Drake here.
And we say this all the time about Kenyon Drake, and he outperforms what we think he can do.
No,
you know what I mean?
You know what? He wasn't terrible last year, but he wasn't great in my opinion.
I mean, even in Miami, if you really think about it, everybody was like shitting on Kenyon Drake, and he pretty much outperformed in the games that he played. Given he was hurt a lot there, but he's always produced, regardless.
Yeah, of course. Let's see. I'm pretty rounded out with running backs and wide receivers. Let's see. I got Noah Fant at the tight end position. So I got 2 picks up. To me, you know what? Logan Thomas and Robert Tonyan are here on the board right now. Logan Thomas just gone. So if I can get through Robert Tonyan, I will take Robert Tonyan here as my backup tight end, just because Noah Fant. Gus Edwards off the board. So hold on. That's my pick, and I can't trust Joe Burrow here. If I'm going to take a backup quarterback, I'm probably going to go with somebody else.
Yeah, I'm scared of Joe Burrow. I'm not sure what to think of Joe Burrow. He threw a lot of passes last year, right? But a lot of them wasn't downfield and they weren't accurate at all. I don't know what we're going to see right here in the second year.
I like Devontae Smith here. I really do. I think just the
Devontae Smith is killing camp, by the way.
Hey, the upside of the targets is where I like him the most. So especially a wide receiver that can finish.
Thus far in camp, we're weekend 0 drops from Devontae Smith, 3 touchdowns. It is what it is. He's doing his thing.
Yeah. So I went ahead and took Tonyan here. I'm 2 picks up. It's whether I take a defense or I take.
I'm killing you.
Devontae Smith
I'm killing
here.
you, boys. My bench is better than y'all.
That's
I
okay.
just gotta say it.
I
just gotta say it
absolutely,
out loud.
I understand. I need a defense here, but my wide receivers, Robbie Anderson, Deontay Johnson, Terry McLaurin, A.J. Brown. I could really use Devontae Smith here. I do like Cleveland defense here. I do need a defense, but you know what? I could.
I was gonna say by the way the third wheel sitting over there, I feel like you're going to New England.
should have grabbed him.
That's all right. I could use a wide receiver. So you know what? I'm gonna leave my last two picks like most people to defense and kicker right now. My team's all the way rounded out. I didn't take a second quarterback. I have Lamar Jackson. I trust him in there.
Don't do what I did and just sit and wait for New England's defense.
I think I'm about to take my first sleeper off the board. And this guy is killing camp so far. This is going to be his second year in there with the number 1 draft pick overall. I think they're going to do a lot of good things. And this guy's going to be Laviska Shenault if he is there and available for me. Right under him ranked is Michael Gallup, too. I really like Michael Gallup as well. But there's a lot of mouths to feed in Dallas. You know what I mean? Who knows what DJ Chark could be? The comments that Urban Meyer's already come out and said he's played small. And, you know, we know Laviska Shenault is a man, and he's going to do what he do.
No problems there with Laviska Shenault. My only issue is there's a lot of mouths to feed. DJ Chark there, and they bring in
I think he's the number one. I think he's the one wide receiver over there. I really do.
No, there's two. It's Shark and
Chark is not a good receiver.
He's
That's
a
what I'm
decent
saying.
receiver.
So you're telling me,
it's
I mean,
Shark
people-
and Chenault. It's like
Chark is on my not ever draft list.
Okay.
I just don't believe in his talent.
So he's with Juju.
Never, ever?
He's with Juju.
Somebody took Marlon Mack. What kind of shit is it? All right.
It's okay. It's the 13th round. If you want Marlon Mack, go ahead and take him out.
I'm taking Laviska. Let's see what else is there. Will Fuller is there, but he is already hurt. He's doing a Will Fuller.
There you go. Your boy Marquise Brown's on the board still if you're looking for a wide receiver.
I'm not looking for any of these things. I'm going to just take a little bit of depth here. I'm going to take Mike Williams. And I'm going to tell you why. I think in order for that offense to work there, and we expecting Justin Herbert to take another turn. He was great last year, don't get me wrong. But for him to take another turn and be a winning quarterback in this league, I think they're going to have to hit him more. He has greater depth per reception. You know what I'm saying? This guy could be an ultimate killer in this league.
Yeah.
Given. This is a guy I'll probably, if he don't work out, I'm going to put him back on the waiver. It don't really matter, but I like him right here.
Yeah.
And what his potential needs.
That makes sense. So coming up here, Kirk Cousins off the board, Baker Mayfield, Tyler Boyd. I mean, to be honest, there's a lot of players that are still valuable. That's the crazy part about a 10-team draft.
yeah.
There's just valuable
Kicker at
players.
this point, I'm going to take it last.
Right? That's what I'm saying. There's
Yeah.
valuable players that are still on the board here. Marquise Brown holds a lot of
Now,
value.
don't get it wrong. This is a mock, a 10-team mock. But if you have IDPs involved, I mean, this is a way longer draft and a way different draft that you would be trying to strategize around. You
Yeah,
know
of
what I
course.
mean?
I'm going to go and take Buffalo Bills defense here. I need a defense and a kicker. I'll wait till the last round to get a kicker, so I'll take Buffalo, in my opinion. They're the highest rank for the fantasy points,
Hey,
according to
kickers are
Yahoo.
people
But
too. Okay.
I still think Buffalo's defense is above average. So fantasy-wise, they should get it done. Coming up to the last round here.
Sanders is still on the board. The number one kicker in 2020 season is still on the board.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
that's why I waited, because there's plenty of kickers for me to get.
And Devontae Parker is pulling a Devontae Parker, and Will Fuller is pulling a Will Fuller. They're gonna kick the ball.
Yeah.
That's what they're gonna do. That's the game plan. Run the ball and kick the ball.
There you go.
I would be looking for this guy if he comes up.
So just waiting out these last couple picks here. Kickers coming
all
off the
the
board.
kickers just flying off the board.
Yeah, it's time. It's time for the kicker.
Here's the deal, though. Suck Up gets so many extra points. It's like he's never gonna blow up with long kicks, but
I mean, he's like the number 3 projected kicker according to Yahoo. So Will Lutz is like falling down draft boards at right now just because the Saints. Who knows if they're going to be able to score any points?
right? They might be stuck on the other side of the 50.
They're still in the dome and they're going to be able to run the ball. So I'm going to take a kicker here. Will Lutz is the highest projected ADP wise, but
Isn't he hurt?
I think I don't know. Either way, I'm going to take Ryan Suckup here on probably a top 5 offense anyway.
Yeah,
Let's see
a lot
if
of points there.
Let's see if I can get Robbie Gold.
Yeah, Robbie Gold should be good here for San Francisco. I think
I'm
Matt
taking
Gay will be good.
I'm taking Blankenship.
Yeah,
here.
Blankenship is good, very good.
Whoa, wait a minute. Carson Wentz is hurt. Carson
Right,
Wentz
no.
is pulling
Yeah.
Carson Wentz.
Anytime
by
when
the
you're
way.
getting a kicker, you literally just want a team that can move the ball but sucks in the red zone. That's
Yeah.
it. That's the best thing you can have in your life.
Well, we don't know what Carson Wentz's injury is right now. So for right now, I'm taking Rodrigo Blankenship if he is there to me with the very last pick in this draft, which would be crazy. We've seen Deshaun Watson just go off the board.
Which could be an absolute that's a league
That would
winner
be,
in itself.
Yeah, that would be
Right?
an absolute steal.
Right?
He
If
gets
he
traded and
actually
plays for
plays-
another team.
If he actually starts playing, like,
That's a
he
league
just
winner.
Plays for the Texans, and everything goes away mysteriously.
I don't think so. He wanted to be traded. He still wants to be traded. All right. Either way, you're getting Will Lutz or Rodrigo Blankenship. That's what I'm saying. Will Lutz is going undrafted.
I'm taking Blankenship.
That's okay.
Yeah, Will Lutz is hurt.
Oh, is he?
NFIA list.
Oh, okay. So Blankenship off the board. So
Where we finished.
my number 3 pick, standing wise, just based on fantasy points, I finished number 4. Third wheel finished number 5. God over here, he finished number 1 for total points. That's okay.
uh-oh, the standings? Yeah, I finished
hey,
number 5.
According to the fantasy points, that's okay.
It's Yahoo. So,
This is what I do.
I'll tell you right now.
This is what I do. I just want to tell people that personally.
At the number 3 pick, Lamar Jackson, A.J. Brown, Terry McLaurin,
Oh,
rounds
shit.
out my wide receivers. Derrick Henry, J.K. Dobbins, Noah Fant at tight position. Deontay Johnson, round out the flex. Suck up, Buffalo defense. On the bench, I got Gaskin, which is insane. And Javonte Williams.
Who do you got?
Miles Gaskin. Javonte Williams, James Conner, round out my running backs on the bench. Robbie Anderson, Deontay Smith. So I got the depth, period, there. Robert Tonyan, tight end position. Help me behind Noah Fant just in case. And then this is a
And then what
winning
did the
team.
6 pick get?
6 pick. This team rounds out pretty well. Tom Brady at the quarterback position. Devontae Adams, Calvin Ridley, Robert Woods in the flex. That's pretty insane. David Montgomery, Darrell Henderson. 220 RBs, period. Could finish in the 10s, both of them. TJ Hawkinson, clear cut, tight end 4, tight end 5. On the bench, Travis Etienne, Damian Harris, some running back depth, DJ Chark, Curtis Samuel, Naeem Hines. Kirk Cousins, backup Tom Brady, makes sense. Robbie Gould, Cleveland defense.
And what did the last pick get?
Okay. We'll talk about the 10 pick real quick. The 10 pick. Tyreek Hill, Julio Jones, Cooper Kupp. That's the 3 wide receivers. Patrick Mahomes at the quarterback position. Zeke and Kareem Hunt. Hunter Henry in tight end position. Really late.
Zeke
But hey,
over 10.
value, that's what I'm saying. On the bench, you got Deebo Samuel, who I'm really high on. Ronald Jones obviously has a lot of upside and value. Raheem Mostert. No one wants to talk about him or really think about Raheem Mostert just last season was being drafted as a top 15 RB. So another guy that's huge value where he's being picked. Matthew Stafford, top 10, another top 10 quarterback. Laviska Shenault, huge sleeper. Mike Williams, huge sleeper. 2 guys that have huge upside, period.
Yeah.
Blankenship at the kicker position and Tampa Bay defense.
And with the very last pick, I won the draft, supposedly. So that just tells you, with the last pick, you can be first, and if you ain't first, you last. For the first 4 downs, it's been B. Scott, G.O.D., the third wheel, you already know. But